Hey, welcome to Weld.com, home of TIG time. Hi, I'm Mr. TIG. We're at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway where the track is actually closed today, but we got a phone call and a guy asked us if we could repair a Harley Davidson. And we could repair a lot of things, but I needed to know specifically, so he brought the motorcycle here. Dan just wheeled it in and took a look at it. And Dan, can you tell me what the repair is?
Yeah, it looks like a piece of cast aluminum has broken off back by the transmission where the inner primary bolts onto. So we're going to have to try to get it fit up and prepped and weld it up.
Okay, well, Dan, I saw that there's a couple of guys that helped escort you and unload this motorcycle. They're right here next to me, so I'm going to bring them into the scene and talk to them and see how they found us in the first place. So, guys, come on in. What's your name?
Eric Pinky.
And you?
Joe Sonato.
Okay, well, whose motorcycle is this?
This is my motorcycle. This is a 2007 Harley Davidson Road Glide that Joe and I were changing the transmission sprocket on when this problem occurred.
Okay, so you broke this piece off and it looked like it could possibly be welded. How did you find us?
Well, I'll tell you, I went to the internet first, not knowing if the repair could even be done, and I believe I typed in something like TIG weld cast aluminum. And a series of videos came up by yourself, Mr. TIG, on how to TIG weld cast aluminum. So I then went to Weld.com and from there was able to get your email address, shoot you an email with just some photos. Do you even think this repair is possible? And here we are today, and 140 miles later.
Okay, now tell you what we're going to do is we can see that the repair is exposed. We're going to prep it. We're going to put the piece in place, and because it's a Harley, I'm sure the aluminum is fantastic aluminum, even though it's cast. So we're going to prep it, V-groove it. I noticed there's a couple of spots that we can't reach, we just can't see it to get in there. But you have disconnected the battery. We're going to be using this machine, this Precision TIG 375. It's got high frequency continuous, so that's why we disconnect the battery. So Dan and I are going to get this thing started, prep it, tack it, weld it, and get you guys back in action. Sound good?
Outstanding. Thank you, Mr.
Good,
TIG.
thanks.
All right, thank you. What's happening right now is Dan is cooling off the part just to make sure we don't burn up any electrical wiring of any kind. We're tacked lightly into place. We're going to have the owner of the motorcycle verify that everything's in alignment before we make any significant welds. Now's the time to change it or adjust it. Okay, as you can see, this is actually a two-man operation. So what Dan was doing while I was welding, was he was cooling all parts of the engine. There's some wiring, there's some electronics in here, and we were just constantly dabbing and cooling. You can see there's a rubber seal right here. We managed to not damage it due to heat. Now, I want you to know that when we weld through this casting, the casting itself generally is kind of dirty, and it's got a lot of crud and corruption in it. So we welded a root pass in it, and because you get a little bit of loss of strength, you have an annealing effect on the aluminum. You want to build up the casting and kind of reconstruct, give it a little added thickness. So that's what we did. We ran a couple of overlapping passes. You got to wrap around these little areas right here. If you don't, it's going to have a tendency to crack, and it'll just break right where it was. So we got it welded up. We got some added thickness, a little bit of reinforcement there, and we're going to put it back together and put Eric on his way. So thank you for watching TIG Time. I'm Mr. TIG.